Recently, I saw a tweet by a Star Wars fan of Asian descent that expressed their thoughts on Rose and Kazuda. Unfortunately, I was unable to find the tweet, although I do remember a majority of what she said. She expressed how she likes the character Rose, but relates more to Kaz from Star Wars Resistance. She relates more to him due to his privilege, struggle of becoming an independent without relying on his family, and her inability to fix mechanical issues. This got me thinking about how important Kaz's character is to children and young adults, and the values and lessons he experiences that are similar to ours, that help us grow as individuals despite our political, financial, or religious upbringing. These values and lessons Kaz experiences throughout his time on the Colossus Station are crucial for his character growth, but also as a person. Kaz's life before he joined the Resistance was one of comfort, ease, and privilege on Hosnian Prime. Being the son of a senator and wealth, his choices for a future were vast and unending. Living a life where everything is handed to him. Kaz's father even calls him out on this at the end of episode 1, scolding his son for joining the Resistance, a group the father considers terrorist. Kaz's father even mentions how he got Kaz into the Flight Academy and eventually into the Republic Navy. We learn early on that Kaz never earned anything in his life. It was all given to him. When Kaz takes Poe's offer to join the Resistance, at first it's out of excitement, awe, and the possibility of flying with the best and reliving the heydays of rebel pilots. But also he wants to protect his home and loved ones from a threat he believes can take that away in an instant. Foreshadowing if you catch my drift. But Kaz does not realize what he got himself into. I feel this is blatantly apparent when, while speaking to his father and explaining why he chooses to join the Resistance, his father ridicules him and scolds him. Kaz, in that moment, decides to follow through with joining the Resistance, because for me, at first, I sensed he was a bit hesitant. But that moment was gone the moment his father acknowledged how irresponsible and foolish he really is. In that moment, Kaz joins the Resistance, not because it's the right thing to do, but to prove his father wrong. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there born to privilege and wealth who have decided to prove their parents wrong without fully comprehending the choices they're about to make. Making such massive life choices were never taught to them. Never had to find their path that leads to the right choice. Instead, they jump in head first, strong and full of confidence. But once the real world hits, and it can hit pretty damn hard, they are a tiny fish in a big, big galaxy. Case in point for our boy Kaz when he arrives at Colossus Station. He talks fast and a loud game that leads into a series of events that force him to race and nearly die. One event I love in particular leading up to the race is when he's playing darts and gets scammed by a local hustler. When Kaz is confronted by the hustler demanding money, he asks if he can have a moment to call his father to provide him with the money. This moment is the second biggest scene that we get in the show, in my opinion, that shows us how out of depth Kaz truly is. For a young man who has everything, he has seen very little of what the galaxy really is. That even now, on the far reaches of known galaxy, away from Republic law, he is still allowing his privilege to dictate his actions. You would think that being a pilot, he would also know how to fix his fighter craft. Yet, he has no idea how or what the tools are meant for. For me, that indicates that his piloting skills were rooted in video game, a dream, and rebelling against his father. Since he convinced himself he is a top-tier pilot that doesn't need to know how to fix a ship, only fly it. That choice continues to bite him in the butt as the season continues. But as the show slowly progresses, we see Kaz slowly grow out of his privilege and become an individual. Although that progress may be slow, clumsy, and a bit slapstick, it shows a young man placed out of his element, struggling to sail the seas of this unknown terrain. How many of us, privileged or non-privileged, have sailed these known seas, whether to a new destination or future? Either way, both are riddled with trials and tribulations that help shape or break the person you're meant to be. Kaz experiencing the very same life lessons we all do. The difference here is that it's more focused and pertained to a much younger audience, hence the humor that many complain about. Yet, within those humorous moments, there are life lessons to be learned. We have all learned lessons the hard way and the funny way. And for the younger audience, learning these life choices at a much younger age and in a funny way helps shape the audience into making better life choices as they are younger and as they grow. They can look at the character Kaz and not only relate to him by race, but also by personality traits that they themselves exhibit. That means more especially for younger fans of Star Wars who need characters that they can grow with and learn and also relate to. No different than younger fans of Ahsoka Tano or Edra Brizzer. Star Wars will always be for children, but we can grow into adults of good morals and positive traits that still retain the love, joy, and wonder our childhood selves had and still have. That is what Star Wars is about. That is what Star Wars Resistance is about. That is what Kaz represents. A galaxy far, far away that represents the clumsy, difficult, privileged, funny, annoying lessons of life we all experience, young and old. Don't be ashamed to roll your eyes at the humor or scenarios in the show. I'm sure we would all be doing the same if it was a TV show about us growing up. Well, that wraps up this episode of A Certain Point of View. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe. Please leave a comment with your thoughts on this video. Blast that like button. Punch the bell to make the jump to light speed notification. And remember, don't hate, speculate. Let's make the galaxy far, far away represent all. Much love, and may the Force bind and surround us all.